The family of the Jamaican immigrant who was shot 9 times and killed by his co-workers during a cabin trip is pushing back on the district attorney's decision not to file charges against the white men who shot and killed him. Last month, Venango County District Attorney White said the investigation, first of all, this is in Pennsylvania, y'all, said the investigation concluded in Peter Spencer's death, said it was self-defense. However, Spencer's family attorney, Paul Jubas, says an independent autopsy reveals there is more to the story. Attorney Paul Jubas joins us now from Pennsylvania. Glad to have you on the show. So you did this second autopsy. When was it done? Who conducted it? And what did you discover?
Roland, thanks for having me. As a matter of fact, it was Dr. Cyril Wecht who also worked on Dr. Martin Luther King's autopsy. So Dr. Wecht conducted it, but what's really interesting is, Dr. Wecht certainly had some differences of opinion when it comes to precisely what happened. But one of the strangest things about the district attorney's news conference was that he misrepresented what their own autopsy said. So in public, he made this statement saying that there were actually 7 shots to his front and only 2 to the back. That is not what his own coroner said. His own coroner said it was 5 to the back and 4 to the front. So the autopsy and really every aspect of this case thus far has just been extremely strange and doesn't really stand up to any sort of intelligent inquiry.
So you're saying that the DA says there were 7 shots that hit Peter. Your autopsy says 9.
His own autopsy says that as well. So his own autopsy says that there were 5 to the back and 4 to the front. But he went on news talking about how there were actually 7 to the back. He changed his own coroner's autopsy report.
So the autopsy report lays out in terms of how many shots. But what else? What are you hanging on when it comes to the second autopsy that you hope leads to a second look at this?
Well, for one, we already know that the feds and the Pennsylvania Attorney General are involved in an investigation into criminality that was occurring at the time, and they had been. That's one of the difficult things is that we aren't able to get into the nitty gritty and the details like we would like to, because this is an ongoing investigation and it has been for some time. So, and it's one that the family is completely cooperating with. And, we have high hopes because there was so much criminality out there that was already under investigation.
What does that mean? So much criminality out there that was under investigation. What does that mean?
So we, just off of what the district attorney said and what the police put out initially, that, you find the police came upon this scene with a body that had 9 bullet holes in it, as well as illegal firearms and controlled substances, as well as alcohol. So, there was just a lot of criminality involved in this situation, which forecloses the self-defense defense. If there is criminality involved, you can't assert that, which is another one of the very strange things, because the district attorney is really basing his decision off of, not the facts. He's making stuff up, essentially. He's placing the entirety of the blame on Peter to make it sound like, well, this guy was the only criminal there. How could, that's why he was able to defend himself, and it doesn't make any sense.
So you want obviously DOJ involved, but they only can get involved if Peter's civil rights were violated. What can the state do? Can the state actually launch an investigation?
So they've been involved, and they absolutely have jurisdiction over this thing. We anticipate an indictment. We believe that this is, an investigation that may have some scope as well. So, it's just the district attorney's position operates outside of the realm of reality. We are focused on what is actually going on, which is this federal investigation, which had been going on. And we're confident that there is enough criminality involving all of the individuals out there that night that Peter was with, that they're going to be, there's going to be a forthcoming indictment. And that's why it's strange. You pretty much just have to disregard everything the district attorney said because none of it makes any sense.
Obviously, the Jamaican authorities had initially reached out. Have you had any conversations with the Jamaican embassy here in the United States or any Jamaican officials there in Pennsylvania?
So the Jamaican diaspora is handling all of that. They're in regular contact with us, with the family. They're extremely helpful, extremely experienced, and they care very deeply about the situation in the family. So, we're very confident in dealing with the Jamaican authorities generally.
And obviously, you've had various civil rights groups and others who have been weighing in. And so what about that? Are any protests planned or anything along those lines? What sort of external pressure is being brought to bear on officials in the county as well as in the state?
So there is a protest scheduled, I believe, on the 8th. I'm going to have to reach back out to the individuals that have organized that. But the idea here is to certainly apply as much pressure on the federal government, who will be bringing this, what we expect to be an indictment. While it's a challenge because we also have to, maintain the integrity of the investigation, but still push without being able to make too many details public. So it's a difficult situation, but we're confident we'll be able to apply the necessary pressure and bring home some justice when we get the opportunity.
All right, then. Well, certainly keep us abreast of what happens in this case. It is still a very, as I keep telling people, a very weird case, especially when the DA came out and sort of how he explained this. Attorney Paul Jubas for the Peter Spencer family, we appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Folks, Black Star Network is here.
Hold no punches.
I'm real revolutionary right now.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America, Roland.
Stay black. I love y'all.
All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, there's a difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be Black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart.
Bring your eyeballs home.
You dig?